message that we want to wedge in the crack between all of the things that you're wanting to know about is how you can deliberately, effectively, consistently offer vibrational frequencies that resonate with the whole of who you are. We want to talk about the momentum that law of attraction provides. Law of attraction says that which is likened to itself is drawn, which means whatever you're focused upon in any moment in time has a frequency. There's a vibration that is emitting from you. And law of attraction is bringing other things like that to you. So when you focus upon something for as little as 17 seconds, when you cross, we're not kidding you at all, that 17-second mark, another vibration that matches that first one joins it, and momentum begins. Hold it for another 17 seconds, more momentum, another 17 seconds, more momentum. And when you cross that 68-second mark, there's enough vibrational momentum happening within you that now, if you're sensitive and alert, you can acknowledge, you can witness the evidence of that momentum. Momentum's an easy thing for you to understand. So you've got your car, you're perched at the top of the hill in San Francisco. You can see the bay down there. If you've been there, it's really exciting the first time you've driven there. So there your car is perched on the top of the hill. You have it in neutral, and your parking brake isn't on. And you think, just for fun, you'd like to see how powerful you are, so you just nudge it from behind just a little bit, and it begins to roll a little bit. Then it begins to just nudge over the hill a little bit, and you realize the potential of what you have done. So before the momentum really gets underway, you step out right in front of your car, and you let it bump up against you, and all is well. But can you imagine what it would be like if you were at the bottom of the hill wanting to stop that momentum? In other words, you get momentum, and we want you to understand that law of attraction is at the basis of all momentum. Because when you offer a frequency, law of attraction will bring another to match it. And it doesn't take much before momentum really gets going. So through life, you've been launching these rockets, and you've created a vortexual version of who you are. Oh, the momentum of that is nearly unspeakable. The momentum of all of the cooperative components that have been gathered vibrationally. Now, you want to call it future manifestation. You want to call it potential. We want to call it nowness. We want to call it isness, because we stand in that vibrational beingness. That vibrational beingness that you have expanded or evolved to. And so, as you are consciously aware of that expansion, we know, our human friends, you don't want to hear about that virtual reality, that vibrational reality, that vortexual reality. You want to sleep with it now. We know. You want the money in the bank. You want to see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it, lick it. We know you do. You want the experience of it. You want the tactile experience, that sensual experience of it manifesting. We know you do. And we want that for you too. But if just for a little while you could acknowledge the existence of this vibrational version, and then you could decide that you're going to find a vibrational frequency that matches it, then you're off and running about deliberately creating your own life experience. We're going to tell you briefly that this creative process is 3 steps. The first step is ask, and you can't stop doing that. The contrast causes you to ask all day, every day. So you're asking, and in that asking, you are doing step 1 again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Law of attraction and your inner being, that which man wants to call God, that which is source energy, is there with what you've asked for, experiencing that highest frequency that you have discovered, the frequency of love and appreciation, the frequency of expansion. So here is this vortex version of you. So step 1, step 2 happened without you even really knowing that it happened. It was just a consequence of being focused out here on the leading edge of creation. But step 3 is really the step that we want you to focus upon all day, every day. That's the allowing part. That's the you becoming vibrationally resonant with what you've put into your vortex. And that's the part that's a little tricky for you, because it's not easy for you to be standing where you're standing in the absence of something that you want and be a vibrational match to the presence of it. And the reason for that is because you've become so enamored with physicality that you sort of want to see it and then believe it. And we want you to believe it so that you can see it. We want you to understand that when you are able to feel yourself by caring about how you feel to the resonance of what you've put into the vortex, that when you practice that for a little while until you know it, until you own it, until you are it, that then this wonderful thing happens. What's in your vortex begins to reveal itself to you. You begin to realize it. Thoughts begin to occur to you. Impulses begin to occur to you. Your timing is good. You rendezvous with people, places, things, events. All kinds of things start happening. There's a synchronicity, a cooperation. Now, the cooperation has already been there, but in your caring about how you feel and reaching for the highest resonance of who you are, you become a cooperative component too. And when that happens, the manifestation becomes obvious for you and everyone around you to see. Until then, you got to be happy with feeling it before you see it. And we know that's a big step, because there are a lot of things that you can look at that make you feel really good. And there are a lot of things that you can look at that cause you to not feel so good. So we're asking two things of you. We're asking you to be more selective in what you look at, but we're going to be light about that, because we know about momentum. And we know when you got a momentum going that doesn't feel that good, and some freaky non-physical ghost says to you, you create your own reality, you know. And you ought to kind of try to find a thought that feels better. You just want to punch our lights out, because there's a momentum that often, always holds you where you are. Our favorite story to help you let yourselves off the hook relative to this subject is, sometimes what you say to us sounds just like this. Abraham, I've fallen out of an airplane and I don't have a parachute. Do you have any suggestions for me? And we say, just one. Hang on, it'll be over in a little bit. Because it's hard to reverse that kind of momentum. And so sometimes there's a momentum going. Something happened, you focused on it, you talked to somebody else about it, you got that momentum going, you crossed the 68-second mark about 1,000 times in the last 1,000 minutes or so. In other words, you've got the momentum going, and then you say, oh wait, I'm supposed to think positive thoughts so that I can feel more positive. And then you say, just kill me now, because really, there's not much you can do about it. And so what we're wanting to help you to realize is that you have much better control over your momentum in the early stages of it than you do in the later stages of it. Once law of attraction gets hold of it, you sort of have to crash and burn a little before you can come up for air. And the best way to sort of cleanse that palate is a good night's sleep, or even some sleep. Because when you slumber, your point of attraction stops. You're not actively attracting to you while you are asleep. It's the most wonderful thing that you pre-paved when you decided to come here. I'll give myself an opportunity to stop the momentum of unwanted thoughts. So that means when you put yourself in your bed at night, you can say, oh good, the momentum will stop in a little bit here. And in the morning, I'm going to get it going just the way I want it to. Esther had a wonderful experience a month or so ago because the pond on the property in Texas was cloudy. It was so beautiful when it was first put in. And for years, this stream comes down many little rapids, and then it goes into another bigger pond, and there are fish in it. And now it's cloudy. So the people come to evaluate why the water isn't clear. And their first impulse is, well, your filter has been here for many years. Let's replace the filter. So they replace this big pump and filter thing. But it doesn't do anything to clear the water. the pipes suck the water out of the pond into the filter, and then they filter it and take out the impurities and aerate it and put it back into the pond. And it was determined that the pipes that are coming back in were clogged with caliche. It's a Texas soil that's very hard. It becomes almost concrete-like. The pipes were just all clogged up. They couldn't chisel it out. They tried for days, trying to put those plumber's snakes in it and all kinds of rods and things, but it just wasn't helping. And so Mark said, maybe we should lay some new pipes on top of the ground. On top of the ground. No point in burying them till we're sure we're right. And so they cut a hole in the building, came right out from the filter, laid the new pipes on the ground, and right away the water started clearing up. It was exactly what was necessary. And it was thrilling to Esther to see such an easy resolution. Really, it was a very easy resolution. And we want to say to you, we think it would be a really good idea if you would think in terms of just laying some new pipes. Because you have beliefs that you've been carrying around that've got you all clogged up. You say, I want more money. But then from your clogged pipe perspective, you say, but I only make this much money, and I've been here for a very long time, and I'm kind of at the top of my ceiling, and I really don't want to go looking for something else. And even if I did, the market isn't really right now. And we say, clogged pipes, clogged pipes, clogged pipes. You just talked yourself out of what you asked for. You want it, but. You want it, but. Your clogged pipes, in some cases, you've got beliefs that really flow well. Traffic's heavy all the time here. This restaurant always messes with me at the drive-thru. In other words, on some subjects, you're flowing better than others. You just want to determine which subjects it is you want to flow on and which subjects that you are flowing on, which just means you just want to know. Because we want to say to you, you've got vortex versions of your life all over the place, just waiting to reveal themselves to you, depending upon which disc you choose. You get to decide. You get to decide what version of reality you're going to realize. And we love the word realize so much because it's your vibrational interpretation. It's you achieving vibrational alignment with it. We are so pleased with the analogies that we have offered to you through the years. Every one of them to try to help you with step 3 of the process. Every one of them to try to help you to find somehow, some way, to offer a vibrational frequency now, and now, and now, and now, and now, and now, and now, until your point of attraction is where you want it to be. And we want you to know that your point of attraction is not where you want it to be if you are chronically worried about something. It's not where you want it to be if you're chronically complaining about something. It is not where you want it to be if you are chronically ornery, if you are chronically negative. It's not where you want it to be. You're achieving, under those cases, vibrational point of attraction that is resonant with stuff you don't want. And everything that's coming to you is because you've achieved some vibrational resonance with it. You never, ever, ever live anything that you don't believe. And a belief is just a thought that you keep thinking. So we know. You tell us frequently. We hear you complaining from time to time about this. You're certain that this thing that happened to you was not something that you believed. But that cannot be true. Because nothing comes to you that you have not practiced plenty of vibrational resonance with.